more years than anyone else, KDKA-TV 2 has been part of Pittsburgh. That's the hometown advantage.
Pittsburgh's grown so much since I was a kid in Oil City.
It's now home to me. I've put down roots.
In fact, more than 90% of us have lived here at least 10 years.
And there's always a positive story in every neighborhood.
Only one station has the experience to know Pittsburgh top to bottom. Only KDKA-TV 2, the hometown advantage.
Welcome back to KDK's totally renovated digs here at One Gateway Center in downtown Pittsburgh. You know, KDK has been blessed over the years to have so many people spend 25, 30, even 40 years working here. So as we embark on this new chapter, we thought, let's invite a few of those KDK legends back to help us bridge the past and the future. I'd like to hear what you remember from the first time you walked in the door.
I grew up in McKeesport, and at noontime, coming back for home for lunch, Bill Burns was doing the noon news then. So when I came here for an interview from Peoria, I walk in the place and going by was Bill Burns. It just dawned on me, looking at Bill Burns walking by, that when I was in kindergarten, he was doing the noon news.
Was the newsroom in the basement at that time?
In the basement.
Anybody have strong memories of the basement newsroom?
I can't forget that place. First of all, we had a very large staff then, and we were confined to this very small basement with no windows. Smoking was allowed in buildings then. There was this gray haze that stood over the newsroom all day.
It was smoky, it was dim, it was dirty. It was not the best of places.
You know, for people who are supposed to be in touch with what's going on in the world, we were hermetically sealed down there in that basement.
Hermetically sealed, maybe, but still room for a prank or two.
You had to go up one flight to make it into the studio. Ray Tannehill decided to put a little prank on Bob Pompiani. Bob always took his sports jacket off and had it hanging somewhere. Bob went to the restroom, and Ray went over and took his sports jacket and then put it on the elevator, and then sent the elevator up to the second floor. And for 20 minutes before sports came on, Bob was frantic trying to find his sports jacket.
They all recall even Bill Burns could play a prank or two once you got in his good graces.
You prayed that he liked you, because some people he didn't like, and it wasn't pretty. But one day I came into my cubicle, and next to my cubicle, there is a beefcake calendar hanging, and Bill had cut out his black and white glossy from the PR department and put it on the top of this beefcake guy. And I said, woo, I think I made it. I think we're good.
Lynn, when I first started here, you were a frequent fill-in for Patty. But I remember you co-anchored with Bill Burns quite a bit too, filling in.
I did. I anchored the noon with him, and that was an experience in itself. He didn't talk to me for the longest time. And before that, I think he liked me. And then while I was working with him, he was like, And speaking, if he didn't like you, the new people would walk in, and he'd say hello to them, and he'd say, rent, don't buy.
In the early 90s, the newsroom moved to the ground floor. There were sort of two power centers. There was Patty, Ray, Stacy, Patrice King Brown, and then there was the opposite end of the newsroom where Wayne Van Dyne sat. You know, and then there was the row where I believe Harold and Mary Robb sat, along with Ralph and Dave Crawley and John Delano. And what did you guys affectionately call it?
Jurassic Park. Because if you came past there wrong, you could get your head bitten off.
There was a little more space in that new newsroom, but they remember somehow everyone always still seemed to end up in one spot.
My Eddie Bay was like a confessional for people.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't him.
Yeah, we would all kind of, something was going on.
Let's go see Jackie.
I had a good ear, you know, so I would listen and, you know, let them vent. So, but I think I saved a lot of people from
I'm sure you did.
a little harm every now and then.
Every newsroom needs at least one confessional.
Right.
And maybe the idea of more space is relative, especially when a big-name dignitary paid a visit.
Senator Edward Kennedy comes in. And we're doing an interview, and everybody's hushing around. Where are we going?
Someone finally suggested the news director's office.
And I said, there's just enough room. Let's set it up. And there he comes, and he's very stately. Hi, how are you? Shook hands, sits down, and we roll the camera, and everything went well. But I'm thinking, wow, what a great job this is. This is so much fun, you know? I'm in a room no bigger than 4 by 4 by 4 and doing an interview with this man. And it was one of those places, one of those things I'll never forget.
It was also in that newsroom where folks like Lynn Hayes Freeland and John Burnett left programming and moved into news.
When Evening Magazine went down, I didn't know what to do other than weather, because I had done weather previously in my career, or before I came to Pittsburgh. And fortunately, everybody accepted me and let me make the transition.
But weather isn't all JB did there.
We used to throw the football around a lot inside the newsroom. And there was one time before the 11 o'clock newscast, I was up on the news desk area where we would sometimes do a broadcast, and John was catching the football. So I was throwing the ball like this. He came running like this, but he didn't stop. He went right into the wall. Am I right, John?
Yeah.
There was a weekend when John and Bob Pompiani were doing a little catch the football, and they inadvertently buzzed Brenda Waters' head.
Oh.
That did not go over well. There was no more football.
I remember that.
You, to who are here, and so many other former KDK employees over the years, you know, you are the legacy that this new newsroom has been built upon. So you should be proud as we show it off to you. I hope you like it.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Maybe we will come back.
I love the way they use the window.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So beautiful.
Oh, look, here's the eye.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. This is really cool.
So you can't hide from the assignment editor anymore.
I mean, it's more than I expected. It's bigger, it's brighter, it's KDKA. There was a time when I first moved to Pittsburgh, I'd never been anywhere else except for in Tennessee. And I thought about going back. This became home. This is home. And I'll never leave.
So great to have those folks back with us, even if only briefly. Thanks to all for helping us christen our new home. Up next, a final thought from that first broadcast in 1949 that's still fitting today.
Turn around, take a look at all you found. Here you are home. This is your home. Smiling faces, old familiar places of your home. This is your home. This is your home.